Hello. Oh, it was closer than I thought. Hello. Welcome back to my channel and another general card pick a card reading. My name is Rebecca, and today in this video I will be doing a general reading for your next relationship, the next relationship that you are going to be in. And I did this one a little differently. Not a whole lot, but for one, there's 4 groups instead of just 3 this time. And I added a new element of written messages that I threw in, and you'll see when you pick a pile that they're in this little baggie here that I wrote and used, and I thought they were kind of nice. I might do a lot more of them in the future, we'll see, but yeah, so we've got group 1, 2, 3, and 4. Group 1 has this little EV charm here that I found, little EV. So that's in group 1. Group 2 has this sparkly little rock gem thing here that I honestly couldn't tell you if I found on the ground somewhere or if I bought it in something. I honestly don't remember, but that's for group 2. Group 3 has this marble. It's got like a little flame on the inside, a little marble. I don't know if I'll be able to keep it up here again. There we go. And then group 4 has this little charm of an owl. A little owl charm that I found. So I will put the times either in the description or in a pinned comment below for when each group starts. So if you want to go ahead and skip to that now, you can. But you can look at these and pick whether based off the cards here or off of the little charms. Pick whatever one resonates with you the most. It is a general reading again, so everything I say in every reading will not pertain to everyone. Take what resonates with you and leave the rest behind. You can go ahead and check whatever time for whatever pile or group you've chosen. Go ahead and skip that if you like. We're going to get started. Group number 1. Hi, group 1. You are here if you picked this little Eevee charm that I have here. It's hard to see in the dark here, but little Eevee charm that I found is what brought you to this reading. I'll put that right up here. And this reading is a general reading for the next relationship that you will be in, group 1. And if you are currently in a relationship, this could also just be a clarification on that. It doesn't have to only be for people who are single, but it is directed mainly towards that more. But again, if you are in a relationship right now, this can still apply to you because it's just going to be talking about the state of that relationship and the person that you're with, things like that. So I've got tarot and oracle decks for you here that I've picked for you already, and we're also going to have some little message cards like I usually do. And I also am going to add something a little different this time. Got a little bag of little messages that I wrote today that I was getting. I just got the urge to do it. So I wrote out a few messages and images that I was given today, and they're in that bag, and I'll pull a few of them out for you towards the end. That's in regards to this relationship. And yeah, so we'll see that when it comes out. And I'll explain those a little bit more once we get to them. I'm just getting your first tarot deck shuffled up and your cards coming out here. Group 1, their next relationship. This could be about the person you'll meet, be about the relationship itself, things like that. Okay, I got 3 cards. I'm gonna get one more and I'll put them all out for you. Okay. Alright, so I got your first 4 cards here from your first tarot deck. And the first card that jumped out of there was the Lovers. These cute little otters here. Put that right there. And then the next card we had was the Queen of Wands. And then we had the Queen of Pentacles. And the 7 of Pentacles. So obviously the Lovers card kind of speaks for itself a little bit about this. So it seemed like this next relationship you're going to have is going to be a very good one, a very balanced union, like just great partnership type of relationship with those. And then those 2 Queen cards, one could be talking about you, one could be talking about your person involved in this, the next relationship. And you know, regardless of gender, obviously the Queen can be talking about any person, and the Queen of Wands is generally a very confident person, very attractive, fiery energy, knows her self-worth, and very strong character kind of thing. And the Queen of Pentacles is the kind of character that is also very strong, but in a different way. It's very stable strength, grounded energy, grounded earth kind of energy, strength. Maybe a little more stable financially or career-wise. Just a very practical person in that kind of way. And then the 7 of Pentacles. The 7 of Pentacles card is about enjoying the fruits of your labor, seeing the results of all the work you've put in, or all of, you know, the I just keep wanting to say the fruits of your labor. That might have been what I just said, but you know, what you've worked on, what you've planted and stuck with to take care of has grown into the beautiful plant that's, you know, attracting all the bugs to pollinate, and you know, has blossomed and become something, you know, to reward you for all your work. And it's calling you to sit back and enjoy that and look at it and realize what you've got. So it seems like, you know, you have a very good balanced relationship to begin with here with this Lovers card. The 2 people involved here seem to be both very strong in their own way, differently, but very complementary to each other. And through their hard work and dedication and everything, you have this 7 of Pentacles kind of relationship that maybe it needed some work, maybe it took a lot more commitment from one or both of you, but eventually you will see the fruits of that, you know, come to be, and get to enjoy all your rewards that come out of that. So that's just the beginning here. I'm going to shuffle your next tarot deck. We'll pull some more cards to see a little bit more about all this. Oh, take that one. Get a couple more here. Alright, I got your next 4 cards from your next deck. And the first card we have here is the Ace of Pentacles. And then we had Strength. Talking about stability again with that card. And then we have the Eight of Wands. And the Queen of Cups is your last card group for that deck. A lot of queens here in this reading. And again, regardless of gender, it has nothing to do with that, but the queens are generally talking about the watery aspect of that element, and you've got the Queens of Cups, Pentacles, and Wands already. So, yeah, it feels significant. I just can't figure out how just yet. But so we've got with the Ace of Pentacles, it says prosperity here at the bottom, and the Ace is, you know, a new beginning, a new chapter, a new adventure. Maybe you're starting a new project with this person. Because with the Seven of Pentacles, with the rewards, you know, it could be related to the relationship, but maybe the two of you work on something together. Maybe you have a project with them together, or you work in the same place. But there's something involved that with the two of you together, maybe you both just have really, really well-paying jobs, so together you're able to, you know, build up a pretty stable life financially and really prosper with, you know, that kind of security. And then the Strength card here talks more about stability, which I saw a lot with just these two to begin with, and with the Lovers being in a stable kind of equal kind of stable union. So I think this relationship was going to bring you a lot of stability, a lot of security and prosperity. And with the Eight of Wands here, it says travel on the bottom, and if you're both doing really, really well financially, then travel is probably something that can easily be done with the both of you. You might travel a lot in this relationship, and, you know, get to see the world and have a great time, you know, doing that while you can. And with the Queen of Cups, it's sensitivity down there at the bottom for that. So far it's been a lot about the stable aspect of it, maybe financial aspect even a little bit. And that card might be there just to kind of make sure that, you know, also that this is going to be a very good relationship for you emotionally. There is going to be the sensitivity there, and with the Queen of Cups, you know, that's the watery aspect of water. Like, that's the queen of the emotions, you know. So I think in this relationship with, you know, emotional needs and everything, it's going to be really good and handled well, and, you know, just be stable is what I'm getting so far. Let me get your last tarot deck shuffled up here. I'm going to pull a few more cards about this, for group one and their next relationship. Oh, sorry, I just had to laugh at that first card, but you'll see in a second what it is. So it just, I had to laugh when I saw it. Group one, next relationship. Alright, so your last deck I pulled 3 cards, and every card here is bringing in that last suit that we have not seen here yet for you, group one, and that is the swords, or in this deck they're called knives. But the first card, and the reason I laughed, is because it is the Queen of Knives, or Queen of Swords here. So there's Queen number 4. And that queen is very much about being able to see through the illusions and the lies and the the wool trying to be pulled over anyone's eyes, basically. Like, she is very good at using her mind to see through any maybe like bad communication or anything that maybe somebody is trying to hide. So it could be that maybe one of you is much better at that and maybe has to call out the other once in a while on maybe trying to tell a story once in a while that, you know, you're just going to be like, I know that's not true. Please don't lie to me. I don't see it as like a horrible like deception type of lie that you need to like worry about. It's just with all these queen energies here, the two of you have a very strong energy as people, and it's all very tied into the queen's energies of the tarot. I've never pulled every queen, I don't think, from every suit, and they're all from different decks, which is the interesting part. And then the second card I got for you from this deck is the Seven of Knives. And generally, the Seven of Knives is also about deception and about lies or trickery or deceit. But with this whole bottom chunk, like the other cards I've pulled, I don't feel like this is talking about any great deception in the relationship. Like, I don't feel like anybody's doing anything horrible, like lying about being in a relationship already, or lying about who they are, or anything that major. But with the Queen of Knives being here, I think it's just telling maybe one person in this relationship, whether you or the other person involved, might have some things that they're hiding from the other, and whoever is that Queen of Knives in the relationship is going to find out about it and maybe be a little upset because you didn't come out with it out front, but it's not a deal-breaking type of hiding thing that I can tell, despite this next card that I'm going to show you, and I will tell you about it. But yeah, the last card here is the Three of Knives, or Three of Swords, which generally is the heartbreak card, which is why I find it so strange that this deck is pulling out all these cards that generally people wouldn't want to see in a relationship reading. But given these others, the base of this relationship is so stable and built on such strong characters and the stability and prosperity, the lovers, I don't feel like this is a certainty for you in this relationship. The Three of Knives doesn't have to be. I think maybe it's just having to do with this 7 card. Whatever that lie or whatever was being hidden by the one person doing that, when it gets called out, maybe there's a brief moment that one or both of you feel a hint of that Three of Knives energy of just maybe being a little upset about it. Like, that is heartbreak and like horrible, you know, feeling over there. But I think from what I'm getting, one of you involved is hiding something, and it could be something major just about you personally. Again, not a deal-breaking relationship lie, but just something that the other person should know, and you don't tell them maybe as soon as you should. And it doesn't have to be you, this could be pertaining to the other person hiding it from you, but one of you involved has some things that maybe you're not proud of. Maybe you have a past that isn't squeaky clean, and you know, that's okay. You know, we're all human, we all experience things, you know, and maybe it's not something this person's proud of, or other people have, you know, looked down on them for it. Maybe, like, you know, they've done some things that they consider bad, and they don't want you to know because they don't want you to think of them any less. I feel like it's the other person involved, not you, group one, but again, it could be you. The major thing I'm getting is that it's this other person involved. So you are going to be this Queen of Knives kind of person involved in this relationship. But it feels like, they're human and they have a past. And it's not squeaky clean. It's not something they're proud of. They could have been involved with the wrong people or, been in a part of a situation that they couldn't get out of, or that they feel like tarnished them in some way. And they don't want to tell you because they don't want to lose you for it. And this could be them. This could just be them feeling this way inside, especially when you find out. They could think, this is it. They're going to leave me. They're going to dump me. This is the end. And I knew this would happen because why would anybody stay with me after what I've done? So that is what I'm getting about that. So we will move on to your oracle cards next to see if maybe we can get some more clarification on that. But if this person, and again, if it is you, whoever this person is, if they were involved in something shady or not so great, in their past, from everything else in this reading, they have clearly gotten their life together. They have worked hard and gotten so much for it. And they are not a bad person, despite what they've done in the past. Whoever that person is, they are not bad, and they shouldn't be judged too harshly on what they've done. Keep an open mind and just remember who they are now is who they are. Who they were in the past doesn't have to be who they are now. So just take that message that wanted to come through for you. Whether, again, that's pertaining to you or this other person that you will be in a relationship with next. I got a card. I just kind of want to get one more from this deck for your oracles, and then I'll show you. Okay. So for your first oracle cards, the first card I drew for you is this one here. Divine Sensuality. Making love erotica. So that speaks to your relationship there. It's going to be a passionate one. One that is very sensual and loving and good in that area, it seems like. Because you also, as your second card, have the Return of Aphrodite. So compared with the other card, that speaks a lot to, the romance part of the sensual part of this relationship. In the bottom it says temple, birth of the goddess, guidance, goddess energy, and treating as sacred. So goddess energy, and then with all these queens, this person, or maybe both of you together, will treat each other and see each other as just as a goddess, as this beautiful thing that should be seen as sacred and treated that way and just given everything you could ever want, physically, emotionally, financially, and again with all that kind of backing up the prosperity and stability here. This is why this is not worrying me that much, because this relationship is so giving and so loving, and you are going to treat each other like the greatest things you've ever had, from what I'm getting from this. Both of you. It's not one-sided either. It feels to me like you're both going to just give so much to each other and love each other so much. Okay, so let's go with this deck next. My battery's flashing, but we'll wait till it stops. I'll shuffle up this next deck for you. Sorry if I sing. I've got my nice like relationship kind of playlist on right now that I'm listening to, and this group especially is making me want to sing along. Okay, I'll take just that one. I know you're wondering why, 'cause we're able to be just you. Alright, so for this Oracle deck, I pulled the Visualize card here for you, Group 1. And that card is telling me that you, one or both of you, has visualized a relationship like this, has wanted something like this, wanting to manifest it, and you're visualizing this amazing relationship that is so good for you and the other person. And from what I'm seeing here, you're gonna make it happen, which is amazing. Like, you are very strong in visualization and manifestation, and I think, you know, just keep doing that. Keep seeing how best you can get through this relationship, how best it'll work. And I think when you guys meet each other, if you haven't already, or when you're about to enter into a relationship, I think you're both going to know this is a big one. That this one's going to be special. It's going to be significant for both of you. And it's going to be something that you've both wanted for a long time. And now it's finally coming into your life. That's so cool. I'm so excited for you guys. I got a couple more Oracle decks, and then we'll get to the other stuff here. Just gonna start shuffling this. I feel like my battery's gonna die before I find your next card, but we'll see. Never mind. It just flipped right into me. Okay. Alright, so from this deck, I pulled this card for you. Merkaba Spiritual Protection. And with this card, it's about being open to receive, to open up your ability to receive good things, and basically what I'm getting from the message, to make it short, is allow yourself to take in everything that is meant for you, that is yours, and get rid of everything else. You know, this stuff. Realize, you know, it might be shocking or make you think for a second, but it's not going to break anything. And taking in all this stuff that is for you and your person, and just letting go of the rest, because it's not important or big enough or bad enough to break this thing that you two are building. So open up yourself to receive all the goodness. You deserve it, and let go of anything that doesn't serve you, that isn't for you. Alright, one more Oracle deck here. This might tell me more about the people involved here. Planning to draw one card. We'll see if there's something else in mind, but I'm planning one card for this deck. Ooh, I haven't seen this card yet. So from this last deck, I pulled the Exile, Forgotten Soldier. On the bottom there it says Strategy, Failure, Trauma. I'm going to look at my book for a further explanation on that. I feel like that's talking about whoever this person is up here, whether that be you or the person you meet. Let me just see what my book says about that, because I haven't seen that card yet. Okay. So yeah, this is definitely talking about the person that is doing the deceiving, that's keeping something from the other in this relationship. And I'll just read this because it's pretty short and I feel like it'll, explain itself. So if this doesn't resonate with you right here with being about you, this is going to be about them, obviously. It says the exile is a lost, broken figure, haunted by dim memories of former victories. Once he was a glorious supreme commander, a leader of soldiers and a feared warlord. Now he is a rootless wanderer, unable to fully grasp who he was and unable to understand what he could become. The exile represents someone who has failed in spite of their cleverness, skills, or strategic abilities, and who cannot understand why they have failed. It is a sign that the answers one seeks cannot be found within oneself unless one accepts the reality of one's situation. So, this person that is hiding something could have, their past of whatever they'd be worried about talking about could have been that maybe they made a bad decision involving something or just lost a lot of what maybe they were working on. They feel like they've lost themselves. They're just a little lost. They're still successful in a lot of ways, but maybe not in the way that they wanted. Or maybe, since this has happened, they've built themselves back up to again, but something happened. Trauma is one of the words in here. It's just something happened to them that deeply hurt and upset their life. And it may have been something that was their fault. And maybe that's why they don't want to talk about it. But it shook them to their core. They having a little bit of a crisis internally about what that means for them and who they are and what they're going to do. Kitty, leave it, please. Yeah, so that's just talking about that person. They have all the ingredients to be great still, and they probably are in a lot of ways, but I don't know if they believe it yet. Maybe through this relationship you can help them build that up again, and through this you can both learn, what you deserve and how good life can be, So that is about them there. And all I have left are the kind of more message cards and messages that I got. So start with one of these message cards here. What are you doing, Kitty? Can I help you? Alright, so let's see what we get out of here. Whew, okay. We'll take of those. Oh my, okay, we've got 4. I thought there was like 2. That's fine. I won't use the other deck I was going to do for this then, it'll be fine. Let's see if my batteries still keep going here. So, this deck, the first card I got is My Best Self. It says, I trust that when I'm doing what's best for me and being the happiest version of myself, the right sorts of relationships will appear in my life. That means I can let go of all my worries about the future, knowing that my only job is to be happy in this moment, while simultaneously attaining a cosmic level of enlightened awareness and total psychological self-actualization. So I think that is kind of talking more about this card here, with letting yourself receive all the good things and knowing that you deserve it, and letting go of everything else because it's not serving you, it's not helping you. Let it go, kind of thing. The next card we got here, No Scorekeeping. I cut ties with past conflicts and make my personal life a clean, shiny slate. Beginning this moment, everything is new. When an old grievance repeats itself in my head, I introduce it to my new head tenets, tolerance and equanimity. Then I give it its stupid t-shirts and records back and tell it to leave. Again, let go of the things that no longer serve you, that no longer help you, and keep all the good things. Some of these messages could be for this person as well, not just you. This is for the relationship. The one next here we have is harmony. Harmony. Says, I know in my heart that when something is right, it feels easy and breezy, even though it sounds cheesy. With this in mind, I banish all stress, insecurity, and tedious work from my relationships. Then I invite harmonious relationships into my life and let them show up on their own time. Easy breezy things are rarely punctual. And that is true. You can't force something to happen. You can't predict exactly when it'll be. You can't make it come, it's got to be when you're ready, when you're balanced for it, and when you let go of all the things you don't need. And your last card here, wait and see. Thoughts love to wander into assumptions and race ahead to the future. But what if you told them to cool their jets and chill a sec? Today, you get to put your mental chatter on pause. Take a breath and simply wait and see how things play out before you let your mind run a marathon of imagined scenarios. Wait, and you'll see that waiting and seeing was a lot more productive than wandering and worrying. Insert audible sigh of relief here. So, a lot about letting go of the things you don't need, letting go of the stress, the worry, wait and see, wait for this, because it's so good. It's so balanced and stable and strong and loving. And it's something that you and this other person have visualized and manifested and wanted for so long. Like I can feel that. So everything happens in its own time. Don't try to push it. Wait and see. So I was going to do a couple other message cards, but that was 4 of them. I feel like that was good for you guys. So I'm going to try a new thing here that I just decided earlier today. I got my little bag of written messages that I kind of channeled in today, that I wrote down. They are messages that I was getting or images that I was seeing. I just kind of wrote down the images that I could tell, like the significant things, and they gave me a certain feeling, a certain image, or maybe time of year. So I'll get more into that if I pull some, and we'll go from there. So for group 1, my messages. I'm not gonna pull too many because I didn't write a whole bunch, and I'm not gonna give you all the messages because that won't make any sense. So I got a few there for you, and we'll see what this has to say. So your first message is, if you can even see it, says stop. Stop. And that, I feel like, is talking very much with this wait and see kind of thing. Like maybe you're trying to push this real quick, maybe you're trying to force something into being. Stop. Stop that. Okay, and your next message, it says, I love holding your hand. There you can kind of see it. Sorry, this lamp is the worst for this, but I don't have a light in this room otherwise. So I love holding your hand. And I feel like you will hold hands a lot in this relationship. It feels very lovey-dovey and like affectionate, yeah, so. Oh. And then your last one here says, oh God, this paper was not good either, but that's all I have. I'm in the process of moving. I have a notebook. It says, I know why I'm here. I know why I'm here. And to me, that message came through as like, with a person who doesn't, if the other one could say, I know why I'm here, you know, and is able to help the other maybe figure that out as well. And with it, I think the message that came right after that for me that I wrote was, it's you. I know why I'm here. It's you. So this feels like a very strongly rooted relationship. And I hesitate to always just throw out a soulmate, but it feels like something you've both wanted so much and manifested so deep that it's definitely going to be a significant one for both of you that is going to mean a lot and change you both a lot. Maybe it'll be a journey for this person to be able to say this. Say, I know why I'm here now. It may not be just for you. It might be for, you know, whatever their life purpose is. They'll know, because you'll give them the strength and the confidence, the ability to think again and know why they're here. So, that is what I'm getting for you, Group 1. It looks really good from what I can see now for you. And that's great, and I'm very happy for you, Group 1. So thank you for watching. I hope this resonated with you. If any of it did, let me know in the comments. And yeah, take anything that does resonate with you and leave the rest, as these cards are already telling you. So thank you for coming to watch, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hello, Group 2. You are here if you picked this sparkly little rock crystal thing that I found. Most of the things I have you pick from in these readings are going to be just little items that I found somewhere, frankly. I don't know where I got this, but I like it a lot. So this is your choosing, Group 2. Let's put that right by my wand here. And this is for a general reading for your next relationship. It's going to be, you know, what kind of relationship it's going to be. Might get some hints about who the people in the relationship are. And then we're going to pull some messages towards the end. I got a new little messages bag full of stuff that I wrote earlier that I'll explain as we get to the end of that. But yeah, it's just going to be a general reading for your next relationship. Maybe kind of what you'll be expecting, who's involved, what kind of relationship it's going to be, you know, that kind of thing. I'm just shuffling your first tarot deck here. I am listening to music again as usual, so I might start singing. The first group I did once in a while because it was resonating with me a lot, so I just had to. If I do, I might cut it out. If I don't, just ignore me. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I got my relationship kind of playlist on, so. Oh, they came springing out of this one, so. Okay, let's see. What have we got here? 4 cards, good, that's what I wanted. Alright, so, okay. So for your first deck, the first card I got here is the Two of Knives, which is like the Two of Swords of another decks. And the next card I had for this one is the Ten of Scepters, so like the Ten of Wands. And then, like this straighter here, there we go. The next card I got for that was the Magician. And the last card from this deck will be the Prince of Skulls. So, just initially off of these cards, the two of Knives there speaks a little bit of balance, but also kind of blind faith, blind trust, That vampire's got, you know, blind over their eyes, but they are stable and secure where they are, and they have their 2 knives ready if needed. And then with the 10 of Scepters there, I'm feeling a lot of exhaustion, as if you've had to go through a lot to get to that point. Like maybe this relationship is a lot of work for one or both of you involved, and maybe not because of anything that you guys have done or who you are, but just maybe there's an aspect of it that is difficult. Whether maybe it's something about society that's making it a difficult relationship, or, you know, sometimes they're just a little more work. But that 10, being a 10, is indicative of, you know, the end of a cycle. So it's before the beginning of the new. And it's a lot of work and tiring, but it's worth the effort. Otherwise you wouldn't have gotten all the way to the 10 with it, right? And you're pushing through in the end here. And the Prince of Skulls and the Magician feel like the 2 people involved in this relationship so far. But I have my next 4 cards here. I'm going to look at these before I get too deep into just these here. Yeah, okay. Okay, yep, okay. First card I got here from this deck is the 8 of Coins. Next card is the 9 of Wands. And then we have the 8 of Wands. And the last card of this deck is the Ace of Cups. And if it's significant for any of you, because I don't know, the beginning of this song that just started playing on my phone hit me kind of different as I was looking at these cards. It's from the Disney movie Tarzan. It's just like a minute and a half of "You'll Be in My Heart" that just started, so like just the short, not the whole Phil Collins song, just a little bit of it, and I don't know why that hit me, but I guess if that's significant to you, there's that message. Just partially why I listen to music while I do this. And then the next one that just started, "I Will Follow You Into the Dark" from Death Cab for Cutie, which feels significant for this relationship as well, because, God, just looking at this, I feel like I want to cry, and I don't know why. Because we have the 8 of Wands, the 9, and the 10. So I think the 2 of you go through so much shit. And I don't mean with each other. I don't feel like this is an internal fight. This feels like it's you against someone else, or against, I don't want to say the world, but maybe society or your families. There's something in someone, some people that give you to so much shit, where it's just always fighting. And then we have an ace here with the Ace of Cups. And I feel like once you get through this Ten of Scepters, even though these are different suits, I feel like once you get through all this fire or shit that you are cutting out of, you get to begin anew again with this Ace of Cups and just maybe get to calm down and just let you both start something calmer and better. And the Eight of Coins here is also a card of learning and stillness, if I feel. Maybe of this Two of Knives with the blind faith, maybe one or both of you was very hesitant about getting into this relationship or making it publicly known. But you trusted each other, you trusted your relationship to make it, and it looks like you do. It's rough, it's tiring, and it's gonna be so much. But you both face it together, and your strength together gets you through it all, from what I can see. And again, it's just, I want to cry so much right now just looking at this. And I can't pinpoint why, but it just feels like so much gets thrown at both of you. And you both have to work so hard to keep each other, you know, together and okay, and you hold on to each other so tight, I feel. Because if you don't, it'll fall apart. And you don't want to give anyone that satisfaction when they're all out there trying to tear you apart for whatever reason that it is. Oh, let me get into this last tarot deck to see if I can get a little more on that. Ooh, fuck. I'm going to cry now, and I don't know why yet. But God, as soon as I looked at those cards, these, it just hurts so much. I just got these messages I might have out while I shuffle, but yeah, it just, God, it hurts so much, and it's so upsetting for both of you. Because you don't deserve this. You don't deserve what people are trying to do to you. You don't deserve all of this. It shouldn't be this hard. I mean, again, for you too, there's nothing that's hurting a relationship. You together are great. It's everyone else that has a problem with you, for some reason involved in it, and with society or your families. It wants to tear you up. And you're both gonna kind of just dig in and say, no, screw you. And, you know, good for you. Oh. Look at these cards. I'm gonna cry more. Oh my God. Okay, one more from this deck, please. Group 2. Okay, so for your last tarot deck, the first card I pulled for you guys, the Knight of Wands. And the second card is the Ten of Swords. And the last one of this deck is the Six of Swords. Oof. So, with those two, the Ten of Swords, I mean, just look at this. I mean, this person in this card is crying, you know? They've got all these little devils in here, in their heart space, causing trouble. You know, which I feel is like what whoever is against you guys is trying to do to you. They're trying to tear you apart. They're trying to break you up. They're trying to make you feel ashamed about what you're doing. You know, and if this is a good relationship for the two of you together, screw everyone else. You know, it may not be the kind of relationship they want for you or expected from you, but that doesn't mean anything. If this relationship is good and makes you happy, it's not them. They're not in this relationship. You know, you are. And as long as nobody's being abused, you know, or taken advantage of, or unhappy, then nobody else has the right to say anything to you about it. So this Knight of Wands might be another card for one of you in this relationship, because this feels like one of you here, a very calm, very grounded person that maybe takes all of this very hard, but not maybe as dramatically as the other, who feels like the Magician / Knight of Wands type of energy, which feels more fiery and aggressive. They might be the one out here throwing all these flames, you know, fighting everyone who wants to hurt you too, while you're there trying to just be calm, keep them together, but it's still devastating and hurtful. And the Six of Swords here, this card shows these two women in their boat taking their swords and leaving. They're in their boat together with their swords, glancing back as they row away. And that might be what you guys will do. You will realize maybe that with whoever these people are who can't accept you, maybe you need to distance yourself physically, or just putting in boundaries or something to distance yourself from the garbage that is just out here making it harder on you when it doesn't need to be. Just making you suffer when you shouldn't have to. Oh, okay. I'm gonna start looking through or shuffling your oracle cards here. I got a few oracle decks that I'm going to be using, and then we'll go into the messages here. But yeah, this next relationship that you're going to be in, either with somebody you're going to meet or somebody you already know. You could already even be in this relationship, but if you are, it's very new. This is something that once it becomes public, I feel like it's going to be, for some reason, a problem for other people. Not for you. In the relationship, it'll be fine. But everyone else has an opinion about it for some reason. And it's going to be rough, it's going to be work, it's going to be hard for you to get through your lives, but I feel like you'll do it good together. Because I'm not getting anything about it tearing you two apart at all. That Six of Swords, you know, you're both going to get in your boat together and leave, you know. You'll say, we're happy together, this is us. If they can't accept us, they don't get us, you know. So I got two cards for you here from this oracle. We're going to start with the first one I pulled, which is this one here. Experiments. Manipulation of nature, forcing change, cruelty in the pursuit of knowledge, arrogance. So for me, this is just screaming those people are in here trying so hard to ruin what you have, maybe because they can't accept whatever relationship it is, or there's just something that bothers them. It could be that you're I don't want to say an unconventional relationship, because what does that even mean anymore in 2020? But it could be, you know, just maybe you are different races and you're in an area where you're surrounded by racists, or you are some form of LGBTQ, you know, people in a relationship in an area where people can't accept that, or your families don't fully support you. It could be something to do with the religions you practice, something that's causing you, family or friends or just your society you live in, to be so against this, and for things that don't matter in a relationship. If the two involved love each other, it shouldn't matter what anyone else wants from you, because they're not in the relationship, you are. So I have this cruelty, arrogance from other people trying to tell you how to live your life, when they have no right, as long as, like I said earlier, you know, nothing illegal happening or abusive or, you know, anything like that where you should leave, then they have nothing to say to you about it. And then this card here is the next one from this deck that I got for you. The Magic of the Kohellan Druith. Hopefully I said that right. Caution, secrecy, wary. So that feels more of that kind of energy with me, of the group of people, whoever they are, that is against you so strongly. And with caution, secrecy, wary, like this, I feel like is warning of you, maybe, or of the feeling that you guys had. Maybe you have been in a relationship secretly for a while because you were afraid of this reaction, but, you know, at some point, you know, people are going to know or find out, and you have to be ready for that. And if you're strong enough as people and as a couple, you will get through it. And I see that happening with you. You're going to get in your nice boat together, and you're going to row away from all of the bad things behind you and go live your happy life together like you should. Shuffle up your next oracle deck here and get another card from this. Okay, I was gonna just pull one, but I felt like it had to be a couple more here that came out. So the first card I got for you here with this deck is this one, Awakening. These very pretty cards here. Awakening, oh, can't see it. Awakening. And then I also have Remembrance. So Awakening and Remembrance. So with Awakening, it says you are or about to experience an aha moment. It will come at a feeling of deep truth, as a feeling of deep truth that seemed to have slipped your mind. You have often thought there must be another way to experience and live this life, and you are about to discover it. You are opening your heart and mind to the full, authentic you. When you rouse from the slumber of conformity, you awaken into the same world, but through the eyes of soul love, you can see beyond fear to the creative possibilities that are everywhere. It is your natural evolution to do this. Awakening. So this could be speaking of the moments when you decide to make this relationship public or start telling people about it. For some of you, maybe there is something involved with you as a person that you will finally fully discover or accept that will come out, that will also be the reason maybe this relationship will suddenly be met with resistance. But like I said, it is your natural evolution to do this. And you pretending to be anything other than what you are, you pretending to not be with this person when you are, is not living your true, authentic life. You won't be happy doing that. And this is obviously a lot of work and suffering, but you will have that person. And I do see that Six of Swords, you know, happening, and the Ace of Cups here to back it up. Of once you get through the bullshit and you get done fighting and suffering from all these other people, in whatever way it has to happen, with either putting up boundaries or physically leaving the situation of the others involved, a new chapter will begin that is much calmer and happier and will be much better for everyone involved. So for the Remembrance card, it says you are ready to live your life from the wisdom of your heart. No one else has to change their ways, only you. Live from your heart, be an inspiration, and discover a new world. So, it's just telling you to remember who you are and letting yourself be that person. Getting away from the things that are hurting you. Alright, last two decks here might give me more insight about the people involved, more than just my court cards. We'll see here, start shuffling these. Group 2, the next relationship. Oh, okay. These top two for sure are the ones. Alright, so with this deck, I've got two cards. I was going to only get one, but two, you know, needed to come out. First one is Jian the Maid, Guardians of Saints. And the other card, Abaddon, Overlord of the Abyss. So this one, the bottom of the card says Pestilence, Corruption, Malice. And then this card said Humility, Disillusionment, Champion. Two very different people here, which I kind of got from that too. So let me see what my book says about these, because I don't know these super well off the top of my head just yet. Oh, in my book, these two were right one after the other. So for Abaddon, an unknowable alien being, the great devil of the abyss, Abaddon wages eternal war on Musolia, El Shaddai, and the Elohim. The Lord of Pestilence and Corruption, he is a methodical, thorough destroyer, who nonetheless enjoys using trickery to seduce souls away from El Shaddai and his enemies. Abaddon represents the inclination towards evil in the world, the worst of all instincts and actions, natural or unnatural. Where other demons and devils engage in their cruelties out of ego, delusion, or a twisted sense of vengeance, Abaddon knows what he is doing, takes pleasure in evil for its own sake. So, I thought this was going to be about the two of you, but also when I pulled this card out, because I knew Abaddon was a horrible demon, you know, from just knowing some things about that, but when I first saw the card and looked at it, my immediate thought was the group, the society. This is what you're up against. These are these people who are making you suffer. And they know they are, you know. And I don't think they're doing it just to be evil, but in their minds they are truly doing it to break you up. And they know it's hurting you. They can see it. You tell them how horrible it is, what they're doing, and they don't care. They don't care about that. So with the other one, the Jan, the maid, I love that they're facing each other here too, because I feel like that's exactly, this is you guys, and this is everyone else. And you are facing off against each other. Jan, the maid, is the guardian of saints, the shepherd of lost souls in Sheol. Jan was a noble and pious hero in life. Martyred for her trouble, she prefers to avoid the politics and machinations of Massilia on the whole, serving instead those who need her help and who cannot help themselves. Jan demonstrates the world-weariness of those who have given as much as they can, that it can be wise to eschew the larger, more cynical conflicts for doing real, tangible good in a local way. A champion does not require a global stage. So you are tired. You have been giving all you can to fight this demon of a society that you live in, who will not accept you for whatever the reason. And maybe it is just after giving so much, you realize this is pointless. This demon won't stop because it doesn't care. That's when you pack up and you take your loved one and you leave, because there's no point. It's just tearing you apart, and that's what they want. Okay. Now I'm going to get you some messages with my cards here first. Pull some affirmation messages for you. Get you some good stuff in here. It seems like so much sadness and fight and suffering. Let's get some good stuff in here for you, group 2. Okay, so my battery died. I just went ahead and pulled all the last cards for you, group 2, while I changed the battery and kind of sat and waited for a minute for it to charge up a little more, but they're all just kind of message cards, so I pulled all of them together. Excuse me if you see my foot, my knees are starting to hurt from sitting cross-legged here. So, the first card I've got here for you, group, I almost said team 2, group 2, teamwork, which I feel strongly already, this relationship is going to have a lot of that. It says, I'm determined to be a good teammate in all of my relationships. If we disagree, I'll resist the urge to place blame and look for a way to solve the problem together. When we're a team, everything's a game. And when we're on the same side, nobody can lose. Not even the Cubs. Finally. So yes, I get that very strongly with you, group 2. You are going to be a team. There's going to be a lot of teamwork. You're going to have to be to make it through this Abaddon society that hates you for whatever reason. So teamwork is very important for you, and I think it's going to be there. Next card here is wholeness. I am complete, whole, and filled with love. I have everything I need. If I ask or look for more, I'm ignoring the love and gifts that are already in my life. Instead, I'll be grateful and acknowledge that anything else would be an extra icing on life's cake. FYI to whoever is listening, extra icing is totally welcome, as it's obviously the most delicious part. So, you have everything you need with this relationship. It might be that one of you, or both of you maybe, are hesitant to leave despite everything that's happening, because maybe it is family that is so against you, but you love your family still, and you don't want to have to cut them out. But eventually it gets to the point where you realize they're going to destroy you if you let them, and you have to make a choice, about what you're going to do. You and your teammate need to figure out the best way to be, and that you are whole as the group together, and that it's okay to just be the two of you and you're still good and whole. The next card here I got is Divine Timing. Everything is timing, and timing is everything. Gladly I release my concern over timing and let things happen when and as they will. I trust that the divine schedule makers know what they're doing. It can take a long time to reach divine middle management. Yeah, so maybe some of this goes on longer than one or both of you want it to, but as far as the bad suffering, but there's going to be a time that comes that will be a perfect time for you guys to take your leave. And it will work out the best when you do it then, I think. So the next card I have for you, Group 2, is Anxiety. We surround you with the healing light of amethyst. Take a deep breath and breathe in this beautiful violet light. Feel your anxiety melting away. There is nothing to fear. There is only love. And then your last card here, Heart Song. What is your heart saying? Stop and listen. Your truth lies within the empty spaces between your thoughts. Your truth shines through from within your soul. Your truth is that which is eternal and unchanging. Your truth is love. Yeah. So love each other, regardless of what everyone else is telling you that are against you, that's saying maybe this isn't real love or it can't be real love for whatever the reason is. Know that it is, and only you and the other person can decide your love and your relationship. The last thing I have for you is a new thing I'm just going to start today. It's this bag here that I got that's full of little messages that I channeled through today and wrote down. Some are just plain old messages that came through. Some were images that I saw, and I wrote a few words down to describe them. And it can be talking about a person, it could be talking about a certain place, or a time, a kind of time of year or season. But yeah, I'm going to pull a few of these out of here for you about this relationship. Group 2's relationship. The next one. Messages. And these can be messages from your person, from you to them, to each other, or whatever have you. They're not all good messages. Some weren't as positive, but we'll worry about that if it happens. So the first one I got here is, the light is awful. It says, you are okay. You are okay. The anxiety that's there is reasonable, but you are okay. You have people watching over you. You have this partner that loves you, that is your teammate, that will work with you, that you guys are so strong together. You are okay. And the next message I got here is, I miss you. I miss you. And it could be maybe that you don't work near each other, or maybe one or both of you takes trips and you can't see each other for a bit of time. Or this could be talking about when you leave, the part of you that still does love your family or your friends or your hometown, that you have to leave because they will not accept you. It's okay to miss things even if they hurt you. Just don't let them hurt you. Don't let them hurt you if you can avoid it. If you can get out, get out. this next message is a little long. It's not going to probably really be able to be seen with this light of my notebook here, but it says jack-o'-lanterns, frosty nights, chocolate. So I was getting these images and feelings, which to me indicates around this time of year, if you're watching this right when I upload it, around Halloween, fall, you know, people that jack-o'-lanterns out, there's a nice frosty nights where things can freeze and be a little chill, and then chocolate is everywhere with Halloween candy everywhere. So this could indicate that around Halloween is when this relationship will begin or come out publicly for you two, or Halloween could be when, you know, something significant in this relationship will happen, whether that's this year, this month, or next year around this time. But Halloween time, early fall, is a very significant time for this group. Oh. And this message I got here, it hurts. It hurts. And my God, group 2, it really does. It hurts so much for you to be where you are with this Abaddon hanging over you, doing everything it can to hurt you, hoping that it will break you and your partner apart. It hurts a lot. I know, I felt a little sliver of it, and it made me want to cry as soon as I felt some of it. But you have a great support with this person, and they are there for you, and they will be with you. So remember that. Oh. The next image that I was given that I wrote down in this, again, I probably can't even see it, but I'm trying. It says brown eyes, tight hugs, late night talks. So this could be describing you, this could be describing your person. But brown eyes, tight hugs, late night talks. So that, you know, whatever that resonates with you. Like, this person could have brown eyes, you could have brown eyes. He gives great hugs, good bear hugs is what I was seeing and feeling when I had that. Like, the kind of hug that just makes you relax immediately. It makes you sigh in relief, like, oh, I feel safe now. And then late night talks. Late night talks with your person that maybe you talk about how horrible this is for both of you, how much it hurts, and keep each other strong in knowing that you are okay. Your teamwork, your love is going to overcome this. So that is what I have for you, group 2. Very, very strong message for you. If any of this resonated with you, let me know. And I wish you all the luck in the world, and just remember that no matter what people say or think about you and your relationship, it is none of their business. They have no right to say anything to you about it, as long as nobody is being hurt, abused, taken advantage of, nothing illegal is happening. Nobody has a right into your business, even if they are family. So, keep strong with your partner and just love. Thank you for watching group 2. I'll see you next time. Bye. Alright, hello group 3. You are here if you picked this little marble I've got that's got like a little flame kind of thing inside. I love this little marble. I used to have a huge bag of marbles when I was younger. I don't know where most of them went, but this is one of them, I think. Or one I found later. I couldn't tell you for sure. But picked that one, group 3. And you are here for a general reading for your next relationship. So we're going to draw some tarot and oracle cards. I got some message cards along with a new kind of message thing I'm trying out that I'm kind of liking, that I'll explain when we get to it. And Sorry, I'm shaking off the last group still, but group 3. So I will get started here with your first tarot deck, because I already picked the decks that have told me that they want to be a part of this for you. So we're going to see your next relationship, kind of what it's going to be like, what you should expect, a little bit about people involved, things like that for you. So group 3. This is group 3. I'm doing 4 groups this time, and I usually only do 3, so this is new. It's throwing me off because I know you're not the last group, but... Alright, group 3. That's the next relationship. Next relationship for group 3. What to expect. One more card. Group 3. Someone breaking my heart. And I'm listening to music again, as I usually do. I said this every time, but if I start singing randomly, I apologize. Got my relationship playlist on, and it's God, these cards. And I might just start singing randomly. Sometimes I'll let you know if I feel like it's a message coming through of some sort, or if the song is significant. That's part of the reason I leave it on, because sometimes it does that. But just letting you know, I apologize if I start singing. I can't help it sometimes. Alright, so your first tarot deck I have pulled for you. The first card is the 4 of Pentacles. The next card is the 3 of Pentacles. And then we have the 5 of Cups. And we have the Ace of Swords. So, just from these first few, I'm going to start shuffling your next tarot deck while I do this, because I don't always get a full message on just the first line here, and hardly ever actually. But the bottom of those cards goes across security, recognition, sadness, and victory. So, that 3 of Pentacles and the recognition, this next relationship could be with somebody that you already know. Like, you're not going to meet someone new to start this next relationship. You could already be in the beginning stages of a relationship with someone. Because you have that 4 is also security, so you feel very secure with this person, very stable with them. Like, it's not a risky jump for you, is what I'm getting right now. The 5 of Cups in there, there's sadness, it says. Sadness, the 5. I'm going to need more clarity on that. It could be with the recognition, this could also be like an ex situation. Maybe you dated this person in the past, and they hurt you in some way, but you are giving them another chance. But there's still some lingering sadness there tied in with that. But with the Ace of Swords in there being a new beginning and the victory, maybe this time around it won't end in the sadness and you'll be able to be successful with this person. I'm getting one more card from your next deck, and I'll lay them out here to hopefully get a little more clarity on this. Group 3, this next relationship. Just one more card about it. That one? Okay. These cards are a little bigger than my hands, so it's a little difficult for me to shuffle, but okay. Yeah, alright. Okay. So, with this next deck, the first card I've got here for you, the 7 of Swords. So, just seeing this, my brain, the message that I got immediately was, yes, this is an X. Again, probably not for everybody watching, but for a lot of you, I feel like this is going to be an X situation, or just, you know, somebody that even if you didn't have a full-fledged relationship before, it's going to be somebody that maybe you had a little something start with, but it never went anywhere, and you're trying to give it another shot. The next card I got for this deck here is the Nine of Pentacles. And then we have the Devil. And the last card of this deck is the Two of Pentacles. So a lot of pentacles, especially for a relationship reading, which could be significant with being something to do with Earth. And, you know, Devil is Capricorn, so this person, or you, I guess, could be an Earth sign or have a lot of Earth in their chart or their personality involved in this. That Two of Pentacles is speaking kind of more of balance. Which maybe you could feel if you feel, you know, with the security of this isn't a stranger for you. So like I said, it's not a huge leap, but you also have the Devil in there, which is all about kind of forging your own path. Maybe there's some friends or family advising you against this, maybe just because they are an ex who left that sadness with you before. But you're gonna have a little bit of a Devil influence in there, letting you make your own choices about it. Yeah, the Seven of Swords is just telling me this is going to be an ex or someone you're already familiar with that maybe you didn't have a full start last time. One more. Oh my god. This has been happening the whole time with all the groups. It takes me a minute to get any cards to come out, and then when I ask for a little bit, I get like tons of them shoot out of here. I need one card, please. One card. Oh, actually, no, I don't. You're okay, fine. The deck was trying to sass me. Okay. Because I was only going to have 3 cards. I already have 3, and I kept trying to get more, and it just kept throwing a bunch. Little sassy deck. Alright. Sorry about that. Alright. So, oh boy. The first one here at least is exciting for you. For the last tarot deck here, the first card I got for you is the Star. And then we have the Nine of Swords for you. And the last card of this deck, the last tarot card, is the Page of Coins. So again, a lot of pentacles. So a lot of earth, a lot of stable earth energy in this. No high risk other than the fact that this was an ex or previous tried relationship. And that Star card, you know, the Star is all about wishes coming true, getting what you expect, what you wanted and more out of this. But that Nine of Swords typically depicts a lot of suffering, and I feel like when I saw that one, it said the past. It said maybe you are still holding on to with that sadness. You're still holding on to something that this person did in the past, the last time you gave this a shot. And even though this time things seem to be moving more slowly, and you are kind of taking a stand against advice from others to do this again, part of you, I think, is worried. You're having a lot of anxiety about the same thing happening again. But you have the Ace of Swords in there. You have this beginning and victory. You have the star, this devil energy of choosing your own path. That so far is telling me that this time around with this person is going to be much more successful than the last. Yeah, so with the Page of Coins the Page of Coins card in there, I think it's optimistic, young energy. You know, it's the first little sprout of a plant in that picture. Right there by the ace. So this is something different. It's not going to be a repeat of the last time you tried this with this person. You know, you're going to have your anxieties and your worries about it, but you're going to make the decision to give it a shot. And they're going to prove to be much better this time. And you're going to get what you wanted and even more, so far that I can see. Because it looks very balanced and secure for you with this person. And then having a little bit of history can give you a nice stable footing, because you're not starting new, like I said, with a stranger. So that could be why that feels that way for you. Getting some of your oracles shuffled here. Get a little bit deeper into this. Group 3, next relationship. Okay, so for your first oracle deck, first card I pulled out of here was Time Out. Awareness, contemplation, solitude, time alone. So that could be dealing with the whole previous relationship situation. And you needing just a time out from that for a bit. Taking the time you need to, you know, think and decide. Maybe you were the ones that ended things last time. You know, maybe they didn't exactly hurt you. Maybe you ended it and you didn't really want to, but something just made you do that. Maybe you were worried or anxious and you ended things, and then you had your time alone to think about it and become more aware of your situation and what you really wanted. Because the next card here I had for you was Reflections. What you contemplate can actualize. So whether you ended it or not, you had your time out to think, and maybe in doing that, one or both of you on either side of it realized, I made a mistake. Or maybe you weren't intending to start a full relationship last time, and then once it was over, you both kind of sat there and thought, you know, I kind of want more than that. Maybe we should give it a try, and then that will actualize and manifest into this relationship. Maybe you thought you had to step back and be friends for a while, cool things off because you didn't think it would work any other way. And then after a while you realized maybe that wasn't the best for you. So decided to give it another shot. These oracle cards are so big. It's hard for me to shuffle in my little hands. Okay, I was gonna get one card, but two flipped out. As this has been happening all day. Everybody's getting a lot more cards than I first meant, but that's alright. So the two cards for this deck for you. The first one here is Seventh Ray of Ritual Order and Ceremony. And then Ascension, the Rainbow Bridge. So both of these are similar with these pictures here of these people with looking up, facing up with their arms out, the light coming in on them. Let me see what the book says for them. Okay, so it says the rainbow bridge is a term for the channel of light that moves through your chakra system and along your spine, allowing spirit to enter your body and stimulate the development of your soul. This bridge comes to life as your consciousness is raised. So it's asking you to try to let yourself connect, to the higher, powers or spirits of above, whatever you believe in, to kind of let your whole body and soul align again, to maybe let this relationship be what it can be instead of letting any worry you had before hold anything back this time around. Okay, and then with this card here, it says, when the gift of the seventh ray enters your life, something new is being formed, something that will benefit your world. There may be an increased interest in magic, ceremony, and ritual for healing purposes. So it helps to transmute energy from lower to higher frequency, which is also what this card is asking you to do. Spiritual cleansing that allows the truth of spiritual freedom, empowerment, and choice to be seen and felt, restoring hope and joy to the heart. So yeah, I think once you take this time out, or once you have taken that and decided this relationship is what I want, maybe this will actually be for the betterment of both of us, let's do it. Like, I think that will allow you to get out of this Nine of Swords and the Five of Cups kind of, sadness that you were in, and have this relationship really take off this time. It'd be really good for both of you. Get one oracle card from this deck for you, see what it has to say. So the card I got you the card I got for you from this deck is channeling, which is making sense to me given these two right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it right on top because I feel like it's gonna say the same thing. Let me look at what it says in my book. Enhance your stream of consciousness. Yes, exactly. Let's see. Channeling shifts your awareness. You can stream information from various frequencies, just like tuning into a radio station. If the information doesn't agree with you, tune it into something different. So it's asking you to practice to kind of tune your soul into the right alignment here, which is, again, what that other card is saying as well. It says, your soul loves you so much. It is also transmitting this love and truth, even when you have forgotten. And honestly, when you get that to happen for you, to line up and send that out into the universe, that's generally when you can attract that back into your life, from what I've kind of learned. So I got one more oracle deck here, shuffling for group 3 for their next relationship. This one I definitely need the book because I have never seen this card before. I've got this one here for you. The Keeper of Whispers. The Mad Prophet. Curiosity, madness, forbidden knowledge. So we'll see what the book says about that here. Keeper of Whispers. So the Keeper of Whispers. The madman known as the Keeper of Whispers dwells in a hollow below the Valley of Saints. Save for his rare moments of lucidity, he spends his days scrawling the full and complete history of mankind in an indecipherable scrawl that no one but he can read, and which he cannot explain, even if anyone were willing to listen to his ravings. So, maybe I feel like this might be a reason why you needed this time out, contemplation. This feels related to the ex and why things stalled last time. Because maybe there was some communication issues with the two of you. Maybe it wasn't laid out exactly clearly what was expected or what was going to happen to begin with, and it just sort of fell into confusion, and you know, you guys couldn't tell each other anything clearly. You know, even when you tried, you couldn't understand each other, I think is what I'm getting mostly from that. Shuffling up your next message cards here. The song that's on right now that feels significant for me to say, in case it resonates real deeply with anyone listening, is I Hate You, I Love You from Nash and Olivia O'Brien. So if you want to listen to that, see if that resonates with you, because it feels significant for this group right now. Not the whole part, the whole song isn't, you know, exactly saying, but some of the lines I keep hearing is hitting pretty good for me right now. So, okay. Got some of the next deck here. First card, Appreciation. I appreciate the unique ways other people show their love rather than compare their ways with my ways. Then, I appreciate myself for maturely putting up with people who just can't seem to show love the normal, obvious, universally accepted way. Good job, both of us. That feels like what I was trying to say here with this. I think that's what this card was kind of trying to get across. Maybe you both have a different love language. You know, you don't express it the same way, so you got confused at first. Because the way you show love is different than the way the other person shows love. So you didn't understand that that's what you were doing. And you need to try to understand and appreciate each other's love language to make this next attempt work. Because that is something you have to kind of know and understand to really get a relationship if you don't speak the same love language, you know. It might seem really weird to you, but if that's how they are, then you need to realize that. And to go with that one, the next card we have here is Acceptance. When I get to know new people, I accept their actual traits rather than the ones I project on them. Same goes for not new people I already know. Acceptance is the delicate art that reminds us everyone is their own unique self. We can't expect them to ever be anything but, man, how do those snowflakes do it? So yes, maybe you guys are just really different. You don't speak the same love language. Maybe you didn't get each other the first time around, and it caused horrible communication, and it just made you both kind of think, maybe we shouldn't do this. But when you split up, you were like, you know, actually, I can't stop thinking about you, you know. I miss it. I want this. I want to try and do better. So that's the feeling I'm getting more strongly now for you guys. Got a few more message cards to pull in here, and then we'll move on from there. As soon as I get this figured out. Okay. Group 3, another message for group 3, their next relationship. Okay, just getting one from this deck. And this card I pulled here for you is Authenticity. Authenticity is the name of the game. Whatever comes up, I will feel it. Whatever needs to be said, I will say it. Whoever doesn't get it doesn't have to get it. But at least they know it, because I've said it. And that's way better than leaving a passive-aggressive note about it. Yeah, I feel like communication is a big problem for you two. And probably will be for a part of your relationship, maybe the whole relationship. Some people have to work on that, you know, more than others. And that's okay. You know, relationships take work. And that might just be one of the challenges you guys have to really make this relationship really thrive this time. So just be you, say what needs to be said, And if they don't get it, they at least know what you said, and you can try to, you know, understand each other as time goes on. So any other messages? Yes, just those two. Okay. Okay. The two little healing card messages I have for you. First one is truth. The best way through the current situation is to just speak your truth. Contrary to what you may think, no one will be hurt if you express exactly how you feel. Yeah, authenticity, truth, acceptance, you know, just say it and trust that, you know, you can explain it to each other or understand each other enough. So the last card here is faith. Do not lose faith. The storm clouds will soon clear and the sun will shine once more. You will not be in the Nine of Swords and Five of Cups forever. Good things will be coming. Alright, so the last thing I'm going to do here for you, Group 3, is this new bag of messages that I made today. I channeled some messages earlier that I was getting, messages and images. I wrote down the images that I could to describe them, and they could be describing a person, a place, or a certain time of kind of year or season. And then I also just have, you know, messages like someone would want to say. So I'm going to pull a few of those for you. Group 3 for their next relationship. What have we got for them? Okay, we got those. And they're going to be very hard to see in this light, I've realized. Sorry about that. I'm going to read them, obviously, but I wrote them on notebook paper, and then with this lamp, it's impossible to see on the camera, but... Okay, so the first one is describing feelings in like an image that I was getting. If you can see it, cool, but probably not. It says chlorine, wet shoes, concrete. So I was kind of getting the smell and feeling of like a public pool. So water or swimming could be significant for one or both of you. Or it could be related to summer, being that when you go to the pool generally. And then this message that I got here says, I want to spend time with you. I want to spend time with you. They miss you. You know, that is a message too that I've written, but I feel like they miss you. You miss each other when you take your break or you're, you know, ending a relationship last time. Like, you want to spend time with each other. You like being around each other. So the next image that I had that I wrote out here, again, possible to see, but I'm sorry. It says soft bed, warm covers, crickets. So I was getting an image of, you know, being in a nice, big, soft, warm bed at night, hearing the crickets outside, and just, you know, that time of night when you sit there and feel safe and warm and comfortable in your bed. And maybe that's the comfort you're getting being in this relationship. And this one also came out in the last group. It says brown eyes, tight hugs, late night talks. So this person or you could have brown eyes. You give nice tight bear hugs that give good comfort. That soft bed to nice tight hugs, and then late night talks. You might be up late in that nice comfy bed talking and trying to work out your love language. Alright, and this next image I got might indicate a time. It says jack-o'-lanterns, frosty nights, chocolate. So it's October, you know, when I upload this. Halloween is approaching. That gives me a feeling of Halloween, fall. So this could be about when that relationship starts here with this person, or it could be a significant time in the relationship around Halloween or fall, whether it be this year or next year, but it's a significant time for you guys. The last image here that I got, a long one, it says church pews, hard surfaces, stillness, silence. And this makes me feel like your time out and contemplation could have happened recently, and it could have happened in a place like that, whether it be a church or just a place of worship or just anywhere that has those church pews, you know, those wooden little benches where you sat in silence, taking that time out to contemplate what you really wanted and with who. So that's what I have for you, group 3. I hope a lot of it resonated with you. Let me know if any of it did. And yes, just work on your communication and your alignments, and I wish you all the best. Thank you for watching this reading, and I will see you next time. Bye. Alright, hello group 4. You are here. You picked this little owl charm that I found. Cute little owl. Put it right here. Okay, so this is a general reading for your next relationship. And it's going to be, you know, what to expect from the relationship, what kind of relationship it's going to, you know, be like. Maybe a little bit about the people involved. You know, things like that. So I got a few tarot and oracle decks that wanted to be part of this, and then I'll have some messages for you after that. This is my first time doing a reading with 4 groups, so if I sound a little tired, I might be, because I've been doing this now for fucking several hours now. I didn't even realize how much time had passed. But it's okay. I'm still feeling good enough to do it. But just if I sound a little tired or slower to get my messages out, that is probably why. So, sorry about that. Group 4, next relationship. Okay. A couple more cards here for group 4. And I am listening to music again as usual, my relationship playlist. So if I start singing, I apologize. And I will mention if there's any significant song or lyrics that happen while I'm doing this, because that has happened a couple times tonight. So if there is, I'll let you know. Alright, so group 4, your first tarot deck. The first card I pulled for you here is the Strength card. Put that right there. Okay, and the second card, got the Queen of Cups. And then we have the King of Swords. And we have the Knight of Cups. Alright. So alright, so with these first cards having 3 court cards, I feel like these are definitely talking about people involved in this relationship. The Queen of Cups is a very emotionally stable character. Who is, you know, the strength of a queen. And then the Knight of Cups is the just romantic, starry, hard-eyed young person who just loves to be in love. So I don't know if the person with this card is just fully this, or if they're a combination of these two, but they are kind of opposites. The King of Swords is all about the mind and logically thinking and isn't concerned so much with the romance, but it could be speaking that these two are the people in the group, the relationship. Maybe this Knight of Cups is an energy or another person coming in that is trying to kind of encourage you guys to have that kind of feeling and passion and love of love, you know. Because the Knight of Cups is not the best relationship person, from what I could tell. It's not somebody who wants to do the work of a relationship. They want the love and seduction and the wooing aspects. And then once that's over, I think they get bored and leave. But with that Strength card being there, I feel like that's not speaking about a person specifically in this relationship. I feel like the King and Queen in there are the two people, and maybe that Knight of Cups is somebody, maybe they're trying to help that King of Swords. This might be a friend of theirs that's like, dude, you need to lighten up. You need to do a little something for your person. You know, you got to do a little something to throw in the romance, because the Queen of Cups is, you know, emotionally intelligent and is able to probably have a very stable relationship. And the King of Swords is just like, look, I like them. I told them I like them. I don't understand what the problem is. What do you mean I have to do something else? And the Knight of Cups is like, oh my god. I'm seeing them all having a conversation right now, and it's hysterical. Because she's like, the Queen of Cups is just like, honey, it's okay. I get it. I understand you. I know what you're like. It's okay. I know you like me. It's alright. And King of Swords is like, yeah, that's what I thought. But man, this Knight of Cups dude is just like, man, you gotta do something else. This isn't enough. What are you doing? Like, oh, it's hilarious. I love they're just having a conversation that's just out of a sitcom to me. It's hilarious. Especially with it being a penguin, the Knight of Cups. He's just bouncing around like, oh my god, you need to woo her. Oh, I'm sorry. It's because the Strength card is the only reason that I feel like the King and Queen is the two people involved in this relationship, and then the Knight is just a friend or something that's poking in to try to make it better for you. It's just like, hey, can I give you advice, my friend? Offering that cup over to the king, like, hey man, if you want this, if you want to pass this over to her, oh, shnikes. What I get for swinging my arms around, huh? Okay, sorry. She's like, man, if you want me to pass that cup over, like, to take it, she can have this, and probably will feel better for it. It's just cracking me up. So I get 3, I need one more card for this one, group 4. Oh, there it is. Whoop, there it is. I said it. So, group 4. Your next tarot deck, the first card I pulled for you is the 10 of Wands. And right there. Oh, wow. Alright, then you have the 6 of Wands. Alright. And then we have the Sun. And the last card of this deck is the 7 of Cups. And although I don't think that this relationship is going to be one that's involving 3 people, and I don't mean in any kind of cheating kind of way, but just maybe a polyamorous relationship, I feel like the 7 of Cups is still talking about this Knight of Cups person, and they're being very dreamlike and being like, oh man, I have so many ideas for you, friend, for your relationship and your person. If you could just listen to me, I have all these ideas to try to do this for you, to help you. Which I guess could be nice if this person truly is clueless. but it might get into a point where you're like, do you want to be a part of this, or are you gonna lay off? Like, and that's up to you, people involved. However you wanted this relationship to work out, obviously, is totally up to you. But as I just feel like that's talking about that person. But then we have the Sun and the Six of Wands in here, which, you know, the Sun is just joy and happiness and celebration and like just the sun, you know. So this relationship is going to be so happy. And then the Six of Wands is celebration as well, victory, triumph, and just, you know, celebrating. So it's going to be a good relationship, you know, however it ends up working out, and it's going to bring so much joy and happiness for both of you. And then we have this Ten of Wands, which with the Strength card, it might be, maybe this King of Swords person is someone who's not inclined to be really romantically intelligent or, you know, the best at it. You know, there are people who just don't show their romantic feelings or their emotions really well. It doesn't mean they don't feel them, obviously, but they don't know how to express them in the best way. But they find a way to do that with you. And they make it work. You know, they put in the work to really get that celebration and the sun in there with you. Because they want to make it work. They want this relationship to be it, you know. I'm just going to get a few more cards for you here. Tarot cards for this. We've got 3 cards here, and I think they are all talking about this King of Swords person. Whether that's you or the person in the relationship coming in with you. Because the last card I pulled from this last deck is the Lord of Knives, which in this deck is the same as the King of Swords. So, definitely talking about the same guy here. Person. Doesn't have, gender is irrelevant in that. The first card I got here is the Eight of Grails, which can speak of feeling emotionally tied down or trapped. I think with this, it's more of speaking of this character's, I don't want to say inability, but their trouble with maybe expressing their feelings effectively, or knowing how best to express them to you, their partner or loved one. And that's maybe just something that needs to be worked on, and that's okay, you know. I sometimes feel like I have that problem, like just expressing how you feel freely, you know, maybe feeling like you can't, like you have some kind of blockage there, is what I'm getting for this person. And the last card I pulled from this deck for them is the Emperor. So, with being the King of Swords and the Emperor kind of energy, this person is very stable, very intelligent, very strong, will be a great stable partner and be able to provide a lot for you and this relationship, if it's not talking about you, because again, it could be. It just might be the emotions, the romance side, or the expression of those feelings that this person has an issue with, or just some kind of blockage in them that makes it a little more difficult. But with this person over here, I think they are willing to accept help or any kind of advice they can get about that, which is good, which means they can work on it. You know, they can try to be better. And with that Sun and Six of Wands in there, I think they will get better over time. Some people just aren't comfortable with it, you know, initially. It takes them a while to open up. And again, that's okay. because they will let you know how they feel. It may not be in the most traditionally romantic or relationship type of way, but they will tell you, they will show you in different ways. But being the Queen of Cups, as the counterpart, is a very emotionally mature person, stable, who is not going to get offended by their inability to maybe express themselves the best. Like, they get it. The Queen of Cups person will get it. You know, they'll be like, I see you trying, I understand what you're trying to do, I get it, it's okay, you know, which is what that person needs, frankly. So getting your oracle cards shuffled up here, start looking into this a little deeper. Like, oh, okay. So, with this card that just came out of here, I am going to assume that this King of Swords person, although maybe having a difficult time expressing their emotional feelings, or expressing romance in the more traditional kind of like flower way or something like that, I pulled this card for your first oracle card, Divine Sensuality, Making Love Erotica. So I feel like even if they might be a little slower on the uptake with romantic expressions in the traditional kind of sense that the Knight of Cups is all about, I think in this department over here, this person's going to be just fine, if you know what I'm saying. I don't think you guys are going to have a problem with the whole sensuality side, which may be the best way at first that this person can express their emotions and their feelings towards the other in this relationship. And, you know, to some people they might see that as, oh, you only want that, I see. But again, it's the Queen of Cups person, so they're very emotionally mature. They're able to understand where this person's coming from and be like, yeah, no, I understand what you're actually feeling, and I get this too. Man, like they understand. And that's why that Sun, Six of Wands, like they understand how good that is. Like, they're like, I know you can learn over time, and you have your own way of expressing this, and I get it, and I'm all good. So that's really nice. I like that. Let's see, next oracle card here. I guess that's why the song Feel Like Making Love has been playing in my ear for the last couple minutes. I just realized what I was listening to as I said that. So there you go, there's a song for you. Okay. This is 2 cards, I hope. Yes, okay. I'll take 2 cards, that's fine. Alright, so for this deck, the first card I have for you is this one, the Divine Feminine. And we have Inward Revolution. So with this card, I feel like that's definitely talking about the King of Swords up there, who over the course of this relationship I feel like is going to have an inward revolution. Like they're going to learn over time, like they can express this really well, and they're going to learn over time how best to free their emotions and let themselves be vulnerable with another person, and how to express that in a way that might seem more conventional, I guess is the word. Yeah, it's something internally is going to shift for that person. Maybe just over the course of time of being in the relationship, that will become easier for them, and some changes will happen. Now for the Divine Feminine, to shine your inner light on your desires. Look beyond the obvious and the superficial into the heart of a matter. Peer deeper into the hidden and explore the mysterious. Trust your intuition, your inner voice, and your instincts. So it says it wants you to know there's always enough to go around. Abundance is everywhere. Embrace joy. So I think that is, speaking of the Queen of Cups, being that emotionally mature person who can say, I get you, King of Swords. I get who you are and what you're about. And, I can see past what maybe is seen as superficial. Seen the superficial with maybe that Knight of Cups kind of stuff, because he's more into the superficial gestures. That is like, yeah, people like this, right? It doesn't matter how much I mean what it is. They just like seeing the shiny thing. And the King of Swords is not about that, because that's stupid, to him. That's ridiculous. So the Queen of Cups will see that, and see into that, and be like, yeah, I understand why you may not be giving me as many of these little trinkets as other people might get, because you don't show your love that way, and that's okay. The King of Swords does it differently, and it's all good. My heater's going to come on. I'm not sure how loud it's going to be in here. I haven't had that experience yet in this condo, so I was confused for a moment when I was hearing. I'm not used to hearing it in this room. I don't sleep in here. It usually only comes on at night right now, which is night. I'm shuffling your next oracle here. Alright, so your next oracle card I pulled for you is this one here. Initiation by Air. So this one says, you have a strong and powerful mind. Mind can be a great asset. It can bring comfort, peace, and strength as you take to your personal journey. It can also be a dark and destructive force, undermining your power, making you doubt your own heart, and keeping you trapped in fear. This is describing the King of Swords right now. The mind, developed without a loving spiritual practice, can be a frightening weapon rather than a liberating sword. How will you choose to use your mind power? So the more I keep hearing more and more about this King of Swords, I feel like that might be applying a lot more to you people listening right now instead of your partner. Obviously, it's gonna not be for everybody, but there's so many messages here for the King of Swords that it feels like that's who I'm talking to. So this card is doing more to kind of back up this inward revolution, and this is 24 and this is 42, which feels significant about being the same message, different decks. Since you have the mind, you have all that logic and the strength in your mind, but your emotions and your fear are tied down and holding you back in that department. And you need to use your mind and get that inward revolution to switch it into a gear of understanding your emotions better and how to express them. And your partner, the Queen of Cups, is probably going to be very good at helping you do that. It's a great teacher to have as far as that goes. So, yeah, that is for the King of Swords. For sure. Shuffling up your last oracle card here, group 4. I hope you know who that Knight of Cups person is then, group 4. Because I feel like it's a friend that is just trying so hard to help you. I hope you know who I'm talking about, because they sound hilarious. Okay, so the last oracle card I pulled for you here is this. Martyr. Matron of the blind. Honesty, shame, and restitution is what that card says. Now I'm going to look that up because that's another one I haven't pulled yet for one of my newer decks. Okay, so the book says for this one, Martyr, In Mausolea, the affliction of blindness represents a blindness of the soul. Mortals who in life believed themselves extremely keen-sighted may find themselves so stricken upon their death, if they lived their lives in ignorance and delusion, their actions untampered by pity and compassion. It is the task of the martyr to care for these souls, to guide them to reflection upon their sins, shame at their previous selves, and restitution through thoughtful service and care for others. Once such a soul can see their own faults, weaknesses, and effects of one's actions on others clearly and truly atone for them, only then can this blindness be cured. The martyr invites us to look clearly upon ourselves and our deeds and see the blindness in our souls so that we may not be eternally stricken. So I think, again, this is more for that King of Swords. It's the same thing over and over for that person. And I'm not saying that having these issues with expression of emotions and romance is a sin, you know, obviously, but it is a weakness, something that needs to be worked on and looked at, and maybe it did cause some issues in the past for past relationships for that person, because some people need that. You know, if they don't get it immediately or pretty early on, they just assume you don't like them and they leave. So yeah, just take a good look at yourself, King of Swords, and see what you can do to better this affliction you have. I don't want to say that either, that sounds mean, but you know, this, you know what it is. You know when you have this problem. Because again, I said, I'm not the best at it either. I understand. So just don't be blind to it. You know, understand it and just see what can be done. Ask your Queen of Cups for help, because I'm sure they'll be more than happy to do that for you. So now I'm just pulling out some messages, cards, real quick. Still racing my dying battery on my camera, but it'll be okay. Woo! There they are. Alright, so first card here is Depth. As new people show up in my life, I look for all the weird, wonderful, complex layers below their surface. I can't be surprised by someone's depth of character unless I'm willing to peel back the outer layers and go a little deeper. It's like the brand new saying goes, don't judge an onion by its haircut. So yeah, that Queen of Cups is very good at getting the depth, looking past your layers and understanding you. And this card here, Warmth. It says, I focus on warmth and let it guide all my interactions. No matter how others behave, I choose to respond warmly. With warmth, I can melt any icy exterior. I can soften any hard feelings. I can microwave any pizza. Today I adopt the saying, kill 'em with kindness, and turn myself into a warm and loving serial killer. So yes, that is what you need to become, King of Swords. You need to become the warmth, bear hugging, giving person. You don't have to become, you know, the total opposite of who you are, but just a little more, you know, warmth. Depth. Oh, it's like half the deck. I still like one card. Group 4. Next relationship. Okay, I saw that one. I'll take that one. I saw another bear pop out of here. Big old bear. Alright, so this is the card I got is Trust. I trust that everything will be okay in the end. Partly because I simply know it in my gut, but also because it's way more fun to live with trust and confidence than to be a defensive whiner. So trust. Trust your partner to help you or understand you. Trust that friend. You don't have to listen to everything they say, but take some of it and, you know, a grain of salt and all that. They may not be completely ridiculous with what they're saying, and just trust that you will learn down the line, and it'll get better and easier for you. I've got a few more little healing cards I'm going to pull for you, and then I've got my messages that I wrote down that I will be pulling out here next. Let me just Just get a few of these, a couple of these for group 4. One more for group 4 for the next relationship. I said one more. Alright, so the last messages cards, first one I pulled here is Blue Angel. It says, I, Archangel Michael, am here by your side. I am all around you and will forever protect you. Remember this whenever you feel fearful. I love you. All is well. And then last here, these, Archangel Raphael. Feel yourself surrounded by my emerald green light. I, Archangel Raphael, offer you healing and solace. The storm clouds will soon clear and the... Alright, of course my battery died while I was reading that last card, but it basically, you know, storm clouds will clear soon, sun will shine bright, trust. Trust. The sun will be here. So, that is the end of the cards I'm pulling. The last thing I'm going to do is something new I just felt like starting today. See how it would go. It's going pretty good so far. But I filled this little baggie here with messages that I channeled in earlier today, wrote down on notebook paper, so clearly with this lamp it's going to be impossible to read on my camera, but I tried. Obviously I'll be reading them to you anyway, but I wrote down messages I got along with images that I was shown. So I wrote down a few words to describe the image. And the images can be related to a person, place, or a kind of season or time of year. And I'm going to pull a few of these out of here for you. Group 4. Next relationship. What messages are you getting here for group 4? I'm trying to really make sure I move them around the bag here. Don't want to pull out the same ones I just took. Got that little pile there. I thought about doing letters too, but it didn't feel right. It didn't feel authentic like these did. We got a lot more than I expected, but that's alright. So, first message for you, group 4. Okay, was an image I got. Again, probably can't read it well, but it's the best I can do here. It says, sun through green leaves, twigs snapping, humid air. So when I saw this, I was kind of picturing summer time, you know, or if that gives you an image and resonates with you for something, take it as you will. But you know, sun through the green leaves, twigs snapping like you're walking through a woods, humidity of the summer is what I was feeling. So summer could be significant for this group, this relationship. The next image I was given here says cemetery, fog, lanterns. So I was seeing kind of strolling through a cemetery, foggy, probably night-like, lanterns lit, which could give you a Halloween-y kind of vibe, and I only say that because it's close to Halloween, but it could be significant for you for another reason. Next message here. Lots of images for you, group 4. This one says, orange leaves, gloves, hot chocolate. So kind of a fall Halloween feeling, same as I was getting with that last one. So this time of year could be significant for you in this relationship. The next message I got here says, I'm trapped. I'm trapped. And I feel like you definitely feel that way, group 4, with that King of Swords. You feel trapped. Next image I was given says singing, costume dress, spotlights. So maybe this Queen of Cups, because it feels more directed towards that person, could have something to do with that, with singing, performing, theater, something to that nature. Or if that resonates with you specifically for something in particular, obviously take that as it is. Well, the next message I got says, I want to spend time with you. And that might be how the King of Swords expresses, you know, they don't say, you know, I love you, I love being around you. They might just say, I want to spend time with you. And that can easily be recognized as the same kind of message. Oh boy, okay. Oh, so many images, group 4. This next one says blue sky, blades of grass, beetles. So that feels kind of summer-like to me, or, you know, being outside in the grass, looking up at the clouds, and there's little beetles in the grass that you see walking around. And it kind of hits with summer for me. And that was kind of the image I was getting when I wrote that. So summer could be very important for you. Whether this next summer coming up could be when this relationship starts, it could be just an important milestone for this relationship. Oh yeah. The next image I got was sand, sunburnt, and coconut. So the ocean or beach could be significant, or again, this feels very summer-like for me. So you could be near an ocean, you could take a trip there in the summer, where something significant happens. Summer is very strong for this group. As I say that, Halloween and summer are the strong times of the year I'm getting for you, because this one says thunder, dark night, chilled air, which could be very fall feeling for me, maybe even spring, but you got so much fall that with the dark night, you know, the night's ending earlier, feels fall-like for me, personally. The next message I got for you, group 4, it says, keep going. Keep going. You said you felt trapped, but keep going. Learn, trust, you know, let your partner help you. Let your friend help you. Keep going. Don't give up on this because you don't feel like you know what you're doing. A lot of us don't, you know, but keep going. And the last message for you, group 4, says, I know why I'm here. Which feels like a statement from the King of Swords for me. With it starting with, I know. The intellectual strength over there. I know why I'm here. Maybe there's somebody, even like 9 of Cups person, who's just like, man, why are you doing this? Like, this person is so emotionally mature. They understand how a relationship works. What are you doing? And you say, I know why I'm here. I know why I'm doing this right now. Like, you're confident in that from what I'm getting for you. So group 4, that is what I have for you for this reading for your next relationship. Let me know if any of this resonated with you. I hope it did. I hope it gave you any kind of information or insight you can use. And thank you for watching this reading. And I will see you next time.